Where do you encounter God? I mean, have you ever really asked yourself that question? Where do you go when you want to encounter the divine? If you're like most people, you probably go to those expected places. You meet God in prayer and in sermons, in the songs that you sing, in spiritual conversations and Bible study. But have you ever wondered if maybe God exists outside of those places and spaces where you've come to expect Him? I mean, could it be that God waits for us in the mundane and the spectacular, in the everyday, in the unexpected? In Genesis 28, we encounter a most fascinating story about a guy named Jacob. Jacob is a con man and a crook. He's on the run from all of his problems. He's traveling to a place called Haran. And in the middle of this journey, Jacob decides he needs to rest. So he lays down to catch some Z's, taking a smooth stone and turning it into a pillow. And in the midst of this incredible story, he dreams the most wonderful dream. There's a ladder that appears in his dream. Maybe you've heard this story before, and it stretches from heaven to earth. And angels are ascending and descending, and of course God was there. I read this story the other day, and I noticed something that I'd never seen before. And it's amazing. When Jacob wakes up the next day, he says, "Surely the Lord was in this place, and I did not know it." How many of us miss God because we're not looking for Him in those unexpected places? How many times do we walk by those places and spaces where God is, where God waits for us, and we miss Him because we're not even looking for God? You know, these last couple of years I've begun to discover God in those unexpected places. I went to a Benedictine monastery, took a 60-hour vow of silence, and I met God in quiet, in silence. I saw Jesus in an unexpected place. I had a friend who died from a rare flesh-eating bacteria in the most horrible way, but learned to encounter Jesus in tragedy. Even through confronting my own journey to understand my sexuality, I learned that we can encounter God in honesty. Each time I discovered God in these places, I was wowed and moved, shocked to find that God was in those places and I did not know it. And you know what else? I've come to discover that God doesn't just wait for me in those places. He's waiting there for you too. This book will help you find Him.